Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the Gems of War pet rescue for the Kit Sith, a new little kitty that has been added to the game. So this is going to be giving a Bright Forest bonus. This is not too relevant of a bonus. You can barely use 2, 3 times you're almost never going to use, and 4 times is basically near impossible with what currently exists, just because the synergy is very bad on it. Though the bonus is pretty nice. It does have a nice little bit of magic that it has going on with it, and can definitely synergize it with the fact that Bright Forest also has a lot of phase, so you're going to be getting a lot of magic just off of the Fey bonus as well as off the Bright Forest bonus. So in combination, can have a lot of magic potential, though currently not enough stuff within the kingdom to be able to fully utilize it. But nonetheless, I figured we'd go and show a different team that I haven't showed yet. Of course, always showing them towards the lower level range. Obviously, later in the game, you could kill it with pretty much anything. This time around, it's going to be going around the level 200, 250 with all ultra rares and below, using the Apothecary, Dragonian Monk, and Skeleton with any hero class set. Ideally Titan, though pretty much any of them that can function in first slot would be fine. So right here, we're going to go and basically just rush up Mang as immediately as we possibly can, or Apothecary, whichever one at this point. Move that over. Looks like we're going to go for this. Hopefully we'll get alignment there. We actually do, getting our extra turn automatically there. We do have our way to get even more mana, so we will go for that, get our Mang up, get that ready. One of the reasons why we bring the Monk is so that we have barrier, just to make sure we don't die. If we had lower stats, we just keep using that to make sure we just keep having our durability up, so they can't actually hit us. So taking skulls initially isn't really going to be too helpful here, unless we're deliberately doing it to not take damage, but we can easily go barrier next turn. So what we'll do here is just go Mang, probably first slot, so we can go and kill it after. So we'll do that. Now we can just go kill it with any skull here. Though we could just go and get our barriers up at this point, because it does look like regardless of which way we take, he's going to get a skull, and we do need to make sure our hero does not get hit. Oops, what am I doing? Let me go grab that. It looks like we're still going to get hit by that, so is there any way we can still grab that? Yes, we can. Dragonian Monk can do some really weird things. We can actually take that skull right there, because those two will drop by 2, but the other one doesn't actually drop, so we'll get a lot of damage in there. One really nice thing about Skeleton, other than the fact that it is a common, it is automatic extra turn skulls. Only troop that actually does this. Create 7 skulls, and then you gain an extra turn. Assuming he's not frozen, you'll be able to basically just keep poking him every single time. So right here, we don't have barrier, but what I'm going to do is throw another Mang down just so we can one-shot everything once we start getting to that point. And now we just start one-shotting everything. So we throw a Skeleton down. Every skull we take will instantly kill everything we touch. Ideally, we'll get Apothecary here into some kind of other extra turn, so we'll take that. I need double skull. Does not look like we have it. We could try off the top here. I could also take an X shape, though I don't think we have anything guaranteed off that, so I'm probably not going to bother. Will take too long to figure out if there is anything, so we'll just take this brown, hope for a skull off the top, and go from there. We didn't get it, but at least we had the chance. And all we really have to do now is find one more skull, and we have it just sitting right there, and down it goes. And that's pretty much all you do, and you just keep repeating that cycle until you win. And regardless of your stats, you'll be able to pretty much win similarly as easily, simply because you'll have Dragonian Monk for infinite barrier, as well to negate out damage, as well as the Mang, which will be giving you all the attack you'll need. So here we have a really annoying thing that's going to be getting in the way. It's actually one of the few battles where you're ever going to need to deal with this in pet battles, but this battle has something that actually moves our team. It has this toad. And normally that thing would be completely useless, but it does pull one of our troops, and it pulls them all the way to the front, which means if it hits anything other than a hero, it is going to be bringing us into a very unfavorable location, unfortunately. But hopefully he will not get a chance. One nice thing, since we are somewhat green-oriented, is we will hopefully just be able to deny out his greens before he even gets any of it. So we'll go take our yellow there, not really much to take. Skeleton's not worth taking, of course, until we have Apothecary rolling. Until we have Mang rolling, so no need to go for that yet. Again, we'll want to deny it out as greens. We'll try for it off a surge, keep taking browns, keep trying to get Mang up slowly. Looks like we should be able to get something here. Ideally, I don't want to get rid of yellow because we do need it for Monk, but we definitely need the brown way more than we need the yellow on the board at the moment. So here, it looks like we might go for an X. Let's see. We have a couple different ways we could take this. I'm going to take this off the top first, then we'll move this down, and then we'll see where things are from there. And it looks like we have to take this skull, but then he gets brown. I could take it upwards, and then he doesn't get anything, though we're gaining almost no value from doing so. So in a little bit of a weird situation then. I guess I think I actually do go for the skull then. Another option we have is we could Monk, but I don't think we'd really get too much value out of that. Oh, you know what? I didn't even see that. We could go for the Doom Skull version. The problem with that, though, is you get an extra turn skull. So you know what? We're actually not going to do that. Though maybe he'll do it and give it to us. You know what? I'm actually going to see if he'll give that to us. So we'll move that. He'll do exactly what I wanted him to do. That's the move I almost gave him, but of course we wanted to have him do it, so he'll just give it to us instead. And now we can just go double skull him, and each skull will get a one-shot kill. And we got rid of the little annoying toad before it could actually do anything. So from here, we'll just take the skull over. Looks like the board is relatively safe. Of course, if you needed even more durability on your hero class, of course, use any of them that gain barrier. Whenever they take ground would be the easiest way to kind of work around that if you're not getting enough from Monk. And Titan would be one of the better options for that. As I mentioned, we'll take the skull over. Oh, that's not enough damage because of armor. Ooh, we actually lost our hero. This team, of course, fails quite heavily after that point. Ideally, you will not lose your hero due to barrier spam and other stuff. But we should be okay. Just going to take slightly longer. So here we're going to go do the same thing we kind of did earlier where we dropped that down to get the extra turn there. Draconian Monk, definitely a really annoying troop to use, but it can get some really nice effects like that. So we get a skull there. Easy one's down. Now we just have to deal with this really durable one, unfortunately, but we'll get him down in several little skulls. We don't really have too much of a damage. The only way we could really do excessive amounts of damage at this point would be to go and get the skeleton up and keep spamming it. But nice thing is we do have Apothecary, so if we ever get entangled or any kind of other stats effect, we don't really need to worry about it. I do have extra turn on purple right now, but we obviously don't want to go for that. It's going to be kind of pointless if we do, simply because that's the way we're going to win, is by getting more purple, so we can actually go and skull spam him. So definitely don't convert that out right about now. So we'll take that purple. I'll get that up. He doesn't get anything out of it. He just goes and tries putting some effects, which do almost nothing. Skull him a few more times, and go from there. So we don't have any convert here. Looks like we'll just take the purple down. We're not frozen or anything. He can. He does a random stats effect every extra turn, so we can actually apply that, but luckily he hasn't. Doesn't look like we... Oh, no, we do. Let's go and grab the green right there, just so we can clear up the board a little bit so we can get another skull. Then we'll probably re-barrier just so we don't lose our Apothecary, and we'll go from there. So I don't think we have any good drops. Probably not even going to try finding any. Let's just go for wherever 3 barrier is. Here's a 3 barrier. I guess we'll try for a skull there. Oh, wait, never mind. I ruined the other one. Never mind. Let's see. I'll just take a purple, hope it surges, throw a skeleton, and win. That seems like the plan. And all we have to do is get 2 skulls or 1 gigantic clump, apparently. And down it goes. And that is how you would do it against all the battles. And of course, you do similarly on the first 6, but they're easy enough that generally the only 2 you'll tend to struggle with, if any of them at all, is of course the final 2 battles. Well, let's go get a bunch of Kit Siths. We got ourselves 3 of them, not too bad. Let's go upgrade it, and now let's go do a team for it. Do keep in mind, as I mentioned earlier, there isn't really anything too over the top for Bright Forest. There's definitely some good Bright Forest troops in there, but they're really not going to be getting much synergy between using an entire team of them. But nonetheless, something that you can do, a little bit more expensive than the other ones, but you can use either Gorgotha, Florian, Glitterclaw, Queen Titania, or what we're using here, Florian, Wardbreaker, Glitterclaw, Queen Titania. As far as this kingdom is concerned, the 3 that we're using is basically the entirety of the kingdom. As far as what's actually in Bright Forest, it is the following. The only ones that are particularly relevant are Florian for Mana Drain and Green Spam, Glitterclaw for Fairy Fire and Green Spam, as well as Blue, Anti-Blue for Blue Guild War Day. Old Man, Oakroot, which is basically like a version of Mang, except not as good. And other than that, Queen Titania, which has really high damage off of extra turns when there's a lot of red. It also is one of the best Fairy Fire options in the game. And technically, slightly Suna. Suna is kind of average as far as mythics are concerned, but it does gain a lot of HP, a decent amount of magic. It's a little bit towards the slower side, but it definitely gets very, very tanky over time. And you can still spam Fairy Fire off it, except this is off of reds instead of extra turns. But nonetheless, this is what we're going to be going with. Basically, spam Florian up as quickly as possible, get a drain down on whatever the threat is, and then go into Wardbreaker. And if you didn't have Wardbreaker, you'd basically just be doing it with a Gorgotha tank and just doing it for mainly the Glitterclaw and the Queen Titania damage, constantly doing 50% extra damage. And Fairy Fire does do 50% extra. Also, I didn't go and show the stats, and for whatever reason, they don't have it on the things anymore. But we are gaining a decent amount of magic. We're gaining it not only for having Phase on our team, but we're also gaining it from having the Bright Forest combination as well, which is pretty nice. I'll go show that right after this. But let's go and complete out the battle. What would really make this team kind of work is if, like I mentioned, if we actually get a green-yellow into the Bright Forest. Not sure if they're planning on any in the near future, but that'd be great, because if we get a green-yellow mana generation that's Fey, this team will pretty much be good to go, but currently it doesn't exist, so it won't be good for a while as far as Bright Forest is concerned. But basically, we just start getting this loop up, keep spamming just a perpetual green constantly onto the board. Ideally, we'll do Glitter Claw if we have alignment, but we don't really have alignment here, though we also don't really have enough mana, so I guess we'll just throw it for the sake of throwing it. This will also put more greens onto the board. He'll take something next turn, we'll fully drain it and go from there, and see where that brings us. So we'll go and drain him, get the 12, get our extra turn. We're already good to go on that, so we'll just throw a Ward Breaker. Actually, you know what? We will take the extra turn, because we do gain some stats. I'll also get a Fairy Fire down, even though then again, they're kind of already Fairy Fired, but it does refresh the timer on it, so it won't cleanse as early. We'll go for another drain here. Hopefully we'll land it. There's 12 green, should land, and we do indeed land it. We could go for Glitter Claw if we had it. Does not look like we have alignment though, so we'll just throw the Ward Breaker down, and I believe we just need one more little hit on Hero, or not, because you just got the summon there. Not good, but also not too big a deal. One thing we can actually go do right now is go drain him. We do basically have perpetual drain spam, which is pretty fun with this team. So now he won't be able to get the transform. We'll just get another Fairy Fire down. Of course, because it's the one I don't want it to hit. Actually, we'll go for double extra turn. Maybe we'll get magic. Of course, we don't. But we'll go and I guess just throw this down into like 1 or 2 more hits. I think 1 more will do it. Finally got Queen Titania up. In this particular team, we're not really using her for anything other than just Fairy Fire. Normally, if you're using her in a team, you are using her specifically to keep spamming Fairy Fire over and over again. So this particular one, due to the Glitter Claw, it's kind of just to keep refreshing them more so than anything else. But just so we actually use her here, have a little hit. And down it goes. But anyways, guys, that is basically everything with the new Kit Sith pet. It is definitely pretty adorable. Let me just go show its bonuses real quick before I conclude out, though. That is not where you go to do it. Let me go click on Edit Team, and here are the bonuses that we get from it. As you can see, we're gaining a lot of extra magic and HP. We're also gaining a lot of magic. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Fays are actually pure magic. So if we go put another Fey, this is what we get for using 3 and 3. And if we were to go 4 and 4, from getting a 4th Bright Forest Fey, and almost the entirety of the kingdom is Bright Forest. So if we go, I mean, obviously the entire kingdom is Bright Forest. I mean, almost the entirety of the kingdom is Fey, I mean. But if we go and replace that out, our bonuses now go up to these. And do keep in mind, I do have it at 2.25 and 3 times at the moment. So we are getting the max capacity on this one and 2.25 on this. As you can see, we basically get the additional of armor, and I believe it ups the HP slightly. So we're basically just gaining more durability. So we're actually not gaining more offense from that. We are for the Fey Bond, but we are not for the little cat. So technically, we could try, though there weren't any options, unfortunately still, not even under any kingdom for green-yellow, but as far as mana generations. But technically, if they ever added a green-yellow mana generator anywhere, it doesn't even have to be for this kingdom, you could do the 3 of them with the green-yellow mana generator, and you would still get that full bonus as well as a decent amount of the other one, which would be brought to some amount of magic and HP, or approximately to that amount. Anyways, yeah, a lot of magic to be obtained to use for stuff. See exactly how that will pan out in the future. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. And goodbye, everyone.